And we are back. Pokemon Infinite Fusion, Hardcore Nuzlocke. This is our first attempt. This is my first time playing this game. We're doing it blind, and we are just fusing anything we run into. So we start with the Bulbasaur. Our first encounter is going to be the Rattata, and rinse, repeat. We're just going to fuse anything and everything we run into. Viridian Forest here against Bug Catcher Jim. He sends out the Caterpie. Bulbatada doing work with the stab quick attacks comes in. Caterpie sending some tackles back and actually doing some pretty good damage. And then Weeran comes down. The Nidoran and Weedle combination gets the poison point and the scratch. We barely hold on. We fade away, but we die to the poison and we already lose our starter and we're not prepared. And Jimbo here has a third Pokemon, so we send out our solo Weedle who's trying to take on the Caterpie, but Caterpie's level 7. The Poison Sting comes down to tackle in return, and we are getting absolutely bodied. Weedle drops, so we have our only other fusion, which is the Hoot Hoot. And Mankey here, we are rocking it. The String Shot comes down, we fade with the scratch. The tackle is here, but the Caterpie outspeeds with the String Shot, and we wipe to a Caterpie. We absolutely wipe to a Caterpie. That is the first attempt. Let's forget that happened here. As we boot up the second attempt, we lock in the Fire Starter Charmander and we take on the Squirtsaur here, the combination of the Bulbasaur and Squirtle. So our rival gets a really nice fusion off the bat here, and now we are going to see if we can do much better this time around. Our first encounter is going to be the Pidgey here right above Pallet Town. I'm going to drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. So we're going to fuse our first two Pokemon, and it's going to be the Charmander and Pidgey turning into the Chargy here, the tiny lizard Pokemon, and it keeps the fire flying typing, which is pretty interesting, but we'll see how good this is moving forward. And then for our Viridian City first encounter, it's going to be the Mewtwo, which you get gifted to you from this guy right here chilling in the Pokemart, so we will absolutely take it. And then for our Route 2 first encounter, it's going to be the normal type Rattata. So we're going to fuse these two, and it's going to end up with this really cool color scheme. We're going to have a normal water Rattata, basically, with some really good defense stats from the Muku. And then for our Route 22 first encounter, it's going to be the poison type Nidoran. Drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. And then for our Viridian Forest first encounter, it's actually going to be the Caterpie. So we're going to DNA splice these bad boys together. We're going to have the Nidoran and Caterpie combination. It's going to end up with the Poison Bug typing. And I think we're going to go with the right one here to keep that Nidoran's body, which means the Caterpie's face is going to get splashed onto that. And that looks kind of cute, though. We will take that. So now we have basically 3 pairs, a team of 3 moving forward. And that means it's time to take on our rival here for the first real time after getting Pokeballs. His Nidogy comes down, the Nidoran and Pidgey combination looking really nice as we 2-tap with the Pucatata here, the normal water rat. Looking good here. We still got the nice speed stat, and I do really like that black, pink, and white. It really pops as the Squirtsaur comes down, the Bulbasaur Squirtle combination, but stands no match against our tiny little pink rat here. We take down our rival, and we are looking much better. Once you beat your rival, you unlock the secret garden here in between Viridian and Pallet Town, and we get an Eevee. That's going to be our next first encounter. Absolutely. It is now time to take on Jim once again, the guy who we wiped to in the first challenge. We have our water normal rat out here in front, Pucatata taking down the Caterpie, but the Weeran comes down and gets that poison sting, does get the poison on top as well. Those stab tackles doing work, but we are going to pivot into our Metaran here. We got the upgraded Caterpie, still fused with the Nidoran as you do, only 1 level away from the Butterfree as we drop back with the Peck. It is super effective, doing good damage. The poison sting comes down and we are just fine. We can't get poison since we do have that poison typing. We also get bite onto our Rattata fusion, which is really nice. Puku's moveset's probably not going to do too many favors for us as we add that bite to the arsenal, and the final Pokemon comes down being the Caterpie here. A little bit of a Caterpie showdown, but ours is much stronger, giving that Nidoran fusion, and we drop back with 2 pecks, and Jim is defeated, and now we can make our way to Brock. But first, our next first encounter is going to be found on Route 3, and it is the Spearow here with the normal flying typing, and I do believe we're just going to fuse that with the Eevee, get another pair before Brock, and let's see what that looks like. and it looks completely deformed. You get Spearo's body with Eevee's face, but it does have adaptability as its passive ability, and that is disgusting as we basically get double stab on all normal and flying type moves. Wow. And as we're leveling up prior to taking on Brock and his gym Pokemon, we get the Metaran upgrade into the Butterran here, the Butterfree and Nidoran combination, and he still looks pretty cute and cuddly. And that leads us to our fateful battle versus Brock here. He has two Pokemon, two fusions, and we have to select two fusions to take him on. He sends out GOG, the Pidgey Geodude combination. We've got these bites on lock actually, in the Rattata Puku combination takes down the Pidgey Geodude. Dignix is next in Onix and Diglett. A very fun typing with the ground rock still, but gets that nice speed stat from Diglett, and he goes underground, takes the Rock Tomb as well, gets a crit. Puku holds on with 5 HP. We get the Oranberry for reprieve, another bite before we go. The Dig comes in, and that gives us a chance to swap into our flying type Eero here, the Spearow Eevee combination, also with adaptability, so hitting super hard. We get the does not affect pivot. Beautiful stuff here, and we do have Mud Slap, which could hit for super effective. We also have Baby Doll Eyes to stop Dignix's his attack stat. As the bind comes down, he misses the opportunity to use a super effective stab Rock Tomb, which is just fine. We will take that, get the Baby Doll Eyes, making the Rock Tomb, and it actually misses. It doesn't even connect. Now we can drop back with the Mud Slap. Maybe I'm thinking of swapping back into our Rattata, but we hold on with 8 HP because of the Baby Doll Eyes, and we fade with the Mud Slap. That was not clean. That was not pretty, but I'll take the first gym badge. And then just right outside of Mount Moon, we run into the signature guy who sells the Magikarp for $500. So we go ahead and secure that first encounter. And then for our Mount Moon first encounter, it's going to be the Zubat, drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. We then take the Magikarp and the Zubat and put them together, which could be a potential Crobat Gyarados fusion in the future, but for now, it's just going to be a Zoocarp. All right, just making our way through Mount Moon here against the trainer. We drop the Rattata with our starter here, the Pidgey Charmander combination, as the Nidoshrew comes down, a Sandshrew, and female Nidoran drops back with a rollout, which is 4 times super effective against our Fire Flying. So we're just going to pivot into our normal water type in our really cool looking mouse, or rat, I should say. The Pukutada drops back with the Mud Slap. It is super effective. The accuracy drops, the rollout comes in, does massive damage though. So we're just going to drop back with a bite, and it doesn't kill. It doesn't kill. Our insides out comes down. We take down our opponent in death, but that is going to be our first casualty as another Rattata comes down, and the double kick from our Butterran cleans up shop. Alrighty, making our way through Mount Moon, we run into Team Rocket, and a scientist comes from the side and takes us on. He's got a Coughmer here. He's got the combination of Coughing and Grimer, so a really bulky poison type at this point in the game, but we do get the burn from the Ember. Our Charmeleon Pidgey combination doing work. The starter drops back and takes down the Abomination. That leads us to our Route 4 first encounter, and it's going to be the Owl in the Hoot-Oot. So yet another flying type added to the team. Drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. After leveling up for what seems like forever, we do finally secure that Butterino here, the Butterfree Nidorino combo, which looks pretty cool right there. And that also means we get the Eero evolution in the Spearow and Fearow. So let's see what that ends up looking like. And oh my god, the Eevee face being just pasted on that is terrifying. It still has adaptability though, so those normal and flying type moves are hitting like a truck. And that means our starter gets a nice upgrade in Chirado as well, the Charmeleon and Pidgeotto, so she is looking pretty decent as well. All right, we are clearing out the gym trainers in Misty's gym here. We send out our Zoocarp trying to get to that level cap. As you do, we have a bite lined up potentially for this maybe ground psychic typing, maybe a water typing in there as well, since it does have Misty's gym there. So it's probably water, but we're stuck in with the Starlet, and it drops back with a 10 magnitude. Oh my gosh, the Arena Trap keeping our tiny little Zoocarp locked in, and it's probably water ground the more I think about it, because Staryu isn't psychic, it's just water. So a water ground typing completely deletes our future Gyarados, and that is an absolute tragedy. Alrighty, we've lost 2 fusions so far, so we're gonna run over here and take on our rival before we get to Misty, and the Nidorino and Pidgeotto comes down. The Nidoto fusion is here. We get a nice side beam down, but the Whirlwind sends our Butterino to the back as Chirado, our starter, comes in. The Charmeleon Pidgeotto looking fantastic. The Fire Fang comes down, gets a nice burn in return. The Fire Fang fades, and we take down our rival's first Pokemon. A little bit of a Zen Headbutt on the side for the Hoo-Oo. However, we're gonna stay in favor of the Confusion with that special attack. The Squirtsaur comes down, the Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, or I should say the Ivysaur Squirtle is looking absolutely adorable, but we need to stay focused here as we do have a Rock Tomb to get that speed drop. However, the bite comes down, we take a little bit of damage, we do get the speed drop on the second try. The Bubble connects and does so much damage to our starter, so we're going to get her to safety, and now we are waiting for the Fearow to come to the front lines to take down our rival starter here. Squirtsaur is waiting, the takedown is here, we tank that no problem. Eero has adaptability, so we're going to lean into the super effective Aerial Ace, and that is more than enough damage to take care of the starter. The Mantata comes in, the Mankey Rattata drops, no problem there, and there's the Abra. The base Abra takes the bite and dies. Our rival is defeated. Beautiful stuff. As far as this video goes, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.